My in-laws are homeless and demand to stay at my vacation home after they sold their house without telling anyone. They really thought I wouldn't leave them for the streets? My husband, 35M, and I, 33F, have been married for 5 years, and we own a beautiful vacation home on the beach that we built ourselves and use throughout the year. My in-laws, in their 60s, have always been welcome guests, visiting for a few weeks here and there and contributing financially towards maintenance costs. Last month, my in-laws suddenly announced they were selling their house to downsize and move into a tiny condo. Apparently, they've been secretly harboring this idea for months, never mentioning it to me or my husband. They plan to close on the sale in 2 weeks and then, to my surprise, move into our vacation home for 6 months while they figure things out. I was floored. This house is our sanctuary, not some retirement home extension. We use it frequently, have friends and family booked to visit throughout the year, and rely on the income it generates during peak season. My in-laws, on the other hand, haven't lifted a finger on the property themselves and contributed only minimally. For some more context, my relationship with them is heavily strained because this is not the first time they have grossly overstepped, and this has led to many fights between my husband and me. Here are some examples of the many things my in-laws have done over the years. On our first marriage anniversary, they gifted us a chicken. We lived in an apartment at the time. How in the world do we take care of a chicken? On Valentine's Day, the second year, they showed up at our house mid-afternoon because they thought it would be special to spend the night with us. On the birth of our daughter, my mother-in-law refused to leave the delivery room until I had the nurse drag her out, and then she sobbed obnoxiously loud in the hallway outside the room. When COVID happened, she ordered us cases and cases of beans and other canned food to help us prepare for the apocalypse and then sent us the bill. My mother-in-law demands all holidays with them and shows up unannounced to my parents, who are 4 hours away, and each holiday we spend with them, they force us out of our bedroom, and we have to sleep on the pull-out sofa the entire visit. My mother-in-law demanded my husband go to her house last year to fix something on our daughter's birthday and then kept him there until after the birthday party was over. She then had a birthday party she planned for my daughter at her house the next day. Our second daughter's birth was similar, where she sobbed and instantly FaceTimed my husband since I refused to let her into my delivery room. She sent a mixed nuts package to my parents at Christmas this last year, knowing my dad is turbo-allergic to tree nuts. The list goes on and on. My husband, bless his sweetheart, is more understanding, and he feels bad for his parents and believes we can make it work. His in-laws, sensing my resistance, are now guilt-tripping us, claiming they have nowhere else to go and offering to pay significantly more than their usual contribution. However, every time they've been to the vacation home, they've commented on how much they love it and would love to live in a place like this at retirement, so I feel like this was a very intentional move on their part. Not letting them stay will create conflict in my marriage, but I'm pretty positive that they will never leave if we let them move in. Am I the jerk if I leave them for the streets? Update 1. I'll give a quick update while I wait to pick up the kids from school and answer a few questions I saw pop up. We co-own the beach house, and we bought it in 2020 when interest rates were super low before house prices skyrocketed. The in-laws have helped us with projects and paid for a few things, but so have my parents. So, we have never thought of their contribution as anything but help from our parents. They had their annual Old Farts Christmas party, their words, not mine, there this past December and had the place for a week free of charge for them and all their guests. So, they have definitely gotten plenty of use out of it. We had a come to Jesus moment yesterday, and I was definitely the jerk to my husband. I told him I was done and that I wasn't even entertaining the idea of them staying there, as it's our business, and this is bad for business. I basically told him I was over his mom, and it had reached the point where I'm about to peace out because I can't handle her behavior anymore. Prior to this, I was not in contact with her and would only entertain them when they came to visit. They never stayed at our house as we live relatively close to them. He still has no clue if they're truly selling their house, if they're behind on bills, or if they're just being difficult, but honestly, I don't care. My parents are immigrants and own a restaurant. They have worked hard their entire lives to create a fantastic life for me and my siblings. They also taught us the value of money and working hard for the things we have. The vacation home was bought cheap, but 90% of the renovations were done by me during my free time. Renovations are my true love, nursing pays the bills, and I love it too, but it doesn't fill the creative cup. I told him he'd lose the house to his parents over my unalived body, and if he feels the need to financially set them up, he can do so with extra money he earns from picking up shifts. He's also a nurse. Basically, I told him their failure was not an emergency on my part. They have always kept up with the Joneses and spent exorbitantly. So they might be broke, and again, I don't care. I have barely tolerated his mom for the past few years. I'll be cordial because I was raised well, but I'm over-tolerating their nonsense. I will say he does see all this crap she pulls, but he was raised with the belief that mom knows best. He's Puerto Rican, so this is partially cultural, but I'm done. I worked yesterday, put in 110% effort, then drove the kids to the beach house last night, picked up dinner, and when we got there, I just thought, no way. So, time will tell, but he called his parents and, on speakerphone, told them they couldn't stay. However, the offer to condo hunt is still open, but he needs to know the price range and all that jazz. His mom started crying, so I flipped the phone off. As of this moment, it's not happening. I also told him if it's a problem, he can quit his claim to the beach house, and I'll cover the expenses and manage it myself, cause this mama ain't playing.